losers match.
In the bottom right, winning that first game handily.
Samsung Galaxy 칸 Hurricane.
You're confident here, taking that first win. Solid defense up against this guy, the bottom left in the red for MVP.
MVP hyvaa.
Former Seoul, and a long time ago, like you mentioned, Eastro.
Quick story that isn't too funny. When I got back from my little vacation in Japan and I started playing the ladder on these new maps, I had seen 0 games on this map. First 2 games, I was bottom left, first top right. Third game, I scouted top right, no one was there. I was shocked. I was like, what? What?
Yeah,
and that's when I learned that there were more places to spawn.
Yeah, actually, I thought this was a 2-player map for a while as well, because it always ended up being cross spawns for me, like bottom left, top right.
Yeah.
And I think we saw only one game that ended up being spawns at the bottom like this last week. Don't quote me on that, but
okay.
I have basically cast. This is whenever Code A happens, I end up casting like every day except Saturdays for like 2 straight weeks. So it's a lot of casting, but I really like it. I enjoy it.
You better.
I do.
You dare say that you don't, man.
Well, I'm so
the
lucky.
internets will be after you.
I'm so lucky to be able to actually have coverage of basically all Korean StarCraft during this period. So
it's pretty awesome.
I feel like I really get to know the players very well during a time like this, especially when you get to see these players, Hurricane and hyvaa, who aren't really high-tier players for both their teams, don't get fielded a lot, but when a player like this does come out, there's so much more to say about them. So.
Indeed. Yeah. Now look at this build by hyvaa. He's going 1 base speed rush. And this is something that definitely can counter a few builds. Like, what Hurricane is doing here isn't necessarily countered. Like, if he catches him, like, with his Zala opposition, kills Zala for free and streams in speedlings, yeah, he can get a big advantage. But, like, let's say that this was a Nexus first into Gateway type of expansion.
Yeah, like Nexus
build would
first, Gateway core, like, no Forge.
Which is super popular at the moment.
Or even the Gate Nexus core build, which is pretty popular, too. Oh, wow. That looks really weird to see 6 Lings, but I mean, he still successfully denies the scout on the speed. He might think this is like an early, like, 12 pool or something, like, coming. I don't know what he's going to think, actually, when he sees this, but he's getting ready for a wall here.
Very smart. That's exactly what he has to do here, is wall and get his mothership core out.
I like the second probe scout, too, just
yeah.
confirming everything.
Super smart. Everything so far from Hurricane looking great. Oh, wow, that's a ton of Lings on the way as well.
It's actually crazy to me that he'll commit this hard after being scouted, but I mean, I guess, what else are you going to do? This looks like very 2010-esque wall we're seeing here.
Yeah. Well, he's got to make it,
yeah.
And this is going to actually give him a pretty substantial lead. I don't foresee hyvaa actually breaking through this. That's really hard to break through. Look, he was trying to right-click through and see if he could slip through, but it was obvious immediately he couldn't.
Just going to place a pylon here as soon as the Zealot's about to die. Actually, the Sentry may... not quite able to block. Just makes another gate here.
There you go. Very well done.
Another Sentry is on the way. The Mothership Core is helping out as well. Just that extra DPS, making every single Zergling that comes through a little bit weaker.
Yeah, and he does kill off quite a few of these Lings. The Lings end up doing nothing. Cancels this gate. Might want to put up another pylon. Needs to keep the wall-in up in some amount.
hyvaa has been massively trying behind this. Obviously, he's still way behind because he did this attack first. But there's no Nexus up for the Protoss yet, and it's not like... I mean, it was almost all in what he just did, but there is a transition point. Not an easy one, but it's definitely not over yet where we're at right now.
Yeah, hyvaa is still going to have a few opportunities to maybe catch Hurricane off guard, or maybe Hurricane will make a mistake here that hyvaa can use. But, like, I would say a perfect game from Hurricane at this point is nearly impossible to stop. So hyvaa's got to make something happen. And the way he's decided to try to do this is a Roach Warren.
So desperate, but desperate times call for desperate measures, as they say. 5 sentries, excuse me, even out right now. And they're all building so much energy. And once he gets the economy going here at this base, the extra minerals, he can start warping in Stalkers. And all it's going to take is one hallucination scout to know what's coming.
Yeah, and I'm sure that we will see that as he gets a few more buildings up. Wants to keep that extra energy just for a few moments here.
Yeah, because it could be like another massive speedling attack.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't want to die to that.
When someone opens with that, you expect another phase of an all-in a lot of the times.
It's really safe. All right, here's that hallucination scout. There's no way for Hyvaa to deny this.
Yeah.
Power of
And he
hallucination.
sees, ooh, that's a gas. That's a Roach Warren. That's a gas.
Yeah. And that's a big tell.
Yeah, he pretty much has a very good idea of what's going on here, but does Hyvaa continue on that path?
Well, 3 extra overlords he just made is going to make it very painful to not, right? Because that's like a bunch of extra minerals he just sank in, which delays his hatchery a little bit. Looks like he is going to make some roaches to help defend his third base that he's making right now, but I don't think he's going to all in. There's a lair. You think we could see maybe from this like a Nidus or something off 3 base? Burrow?
That's a hard call. Maybe. I mean, maybe.
It's just a bit awkward, you know?
Yeah, like if you go, let's say you go for Nidus. Are you just trying to get into the main base?
I don't think so. I think you got to do it at the front or something.
Okay. I would say if that's your choice, then you just go for a frontal attack.
Yeah, because there's another ramp up there. Yeah. Not another ramp, but like another wall that you got to break through.
Yeah, I don't think it's far enough away to say going Nidus to a front attack is good, and I don't think an in-base attack is that much better. So
small area in the main base, so it's really hard to hide that and get away with it.
Exactly.
Almost picks off a Roach here right away. I don't think he's going to be able to stick around here, though. It doesn't get to do what he wants to do, and he's going to have to recall.
Oh, man.
Very late on that.
Sad. Yeah, loses this sentry as well. That's rough.
Sentry's so cute trying to stay alive.
Yeah, instead of that, actually, that was a mistake. He should have made a hallucination there.
Yeah, because that way
that was always going to die.
Yeah, that was, I completely agree with you there. It's not like he's going to kill like a few more links out of this. All right, wall's getting set up here. Needs to actually maybe kill that cleaning bot, funny as it is, to finish it, if that's what he wants.
Well, he's going to start poking here at least. Some force fields going up. Not the best force fields. A great usage of Burrow right there.
Yeah, he's forced the cannon to be made. That cannon keeps getting targeted, then it's actually just going to be able to do this essentially until that observer gets out.
I really like what we're seeing from Hyvaa here. A frontal attack, trying to utilize Burrow as best he can.
Knowing his opponent would not have robotics tech with how this game is open. And he just regens so much health while he's doing this. And here come a group of links to the right side. He has to block those out as well.
Very nicely done so far by Hyvaa on this counterattack. He's definitely gotten some damage done, but that observer's out, and those Burrow tactics are probably over.
But what I really like, and what I want to mention is, during this, he's been able to squeak out up to about 63 or so drones once the last of them finish while attacking this, which keeps his economy flowing on 3 bases. Scary moment, though, is the possible immortal attack that comes with this, because he's got so many sentries to work with. He's going to have +1 here in a second, and actually blink.
Well, that's, this is what you want, man. You want to be able to get to blink, a third base, Robotech, and attack upgrades. Once you have all that, I mean, you've basically built the basis of everything that Protoss can do. As for Hyvaa, though, he's a little bit behind on everything, right? He's just getting Roach Speed now. He's just getting his first attack upgrade. He's going for a Hydralisk Den. He does have a third base, sure, but I don't think I see anything super exciting until he does throw down Infestation Pit. So that's going somewhere that might help him.
Yeah, I just worry that, with the Infestation Pit and a Robotics Support Bay going up at the same time, whether it's Infestors, which are, I think, pretty unlikely here, or Swarmos, he's going to have the answer ready already. And I actually do not like Swarmos on this map with these positions. Where are you going to bring the Locusts in? You got to go to a really awkward place for the Swarmos, which is really not safe. The natural is like super far away from everything. You have to go up like that huge space even where the gateway wall is before you can even start hitting the Nexus. Third base, you got to go like way around before you can really start hitting that. You got to go up another ramp too, and then go even further beyond that. So I feel like Swarmos on this map, not so good. Looks like he's just going to rush a Hive here.
I think it's for Vipers.
Yeah.
Zergs have been getting much, much better at using Vipers in all sorts of situations. Like, hey, if you're playing against Immortal, Blinding Cloud it. If you're playing against Colossus, yank it in. And in the meantime, we do see some harassment coming down from Hurricane.
Yeah, he's got a lot of Hydras here. Targets the Warp Prism smartly first. Some good targeting on these Zealots to actually make sure they kill at least another drone there. So moving across the map here, is a lot of Hydras on the map to move across with just this. He can recall, but only if he doesn't get his Mothership Core sniped, and may still lose some units in the process. The force hits here are good, traps a lot of roaches. Very patient here with how he moves across.
Yeah, well, he's got to be patient. He's got to be careful about it. If he gets caught with that Protoss army, he's going to lose the game. Like, he can't lose this army right now. I think this army is super important, those 7 sentries, against this type of composition.
Kill some roaches. I think the key thing to note here is he doesn't use a massive amount of sentry energy, and he keeps the energy on that mothership core, because that's going to be useful later for time warps, especially against this type of comp. Hive has done it 4 Vipers. That's like almost too many Vipers. Like, that's a lot of Vipers.
I like that he's really committing to Vipers, to be honest. I really like that here. He keeps seeing this group of sentries. He keeps seeing Immortals. He knows from previously that Hurricane likes Immortals quite a bit. And Blinding Cloud just bugs all that out so badly. Yeah. The thing is, what you really want against this type of composition is quite a few Colossus. And then, of course, you know, if you have 4 Vipers, there's a good chance you're going to be able to yank them in.
You can also yank the mothership core to then stop time warps and also prevent recalls.
Thing is, over time, Vipers can gain you a lot of value, but a lot of the time, the way that they're made in this matchup, they're like a 1 to 2 use unit, where you're like, okay, I got to do something right now or I'm going to lose. And is that this game?
I don't know.
It may be. I mean, we have that Templar Archives on the way, so if he doesn't move forward and get something done, we're going to have like the full defenses of Hurricane.
Well, 4th base up here to the top right would be good for Hurricane. He's going to need to get that eventually. And if he can actually hold this first wave and take that, I think he'll be in a good spot going forward. Storm is on the way, but it's a bit too late. These High Templar, if they can get their feedbacks off, that is going to be so critical right now.
4 High Templar, 4 Vipers. You know, this is one of the sad things about going Vipers. Like, Protoss can't get too many High Templars. You can definitely get too many Vipers.
Yeah, this is my concern. You know, all of them have also been over-energized here. They're all just going to be zapped in one hit. They have way too much energy. I mean, not too much energy, but too much energy for fighting against this type of High Templar.
Oh, he cannot be attacking into here.
No way, no way. Gets one Colossus.
Wow. Okay, well, I mean, 2 Yanks and get out. That's actually... And he lost 2 Vipers.
The Blinding Clouds there were what kept his ground army alive. Without those, like, I mean, that would have been a disaster. And he blasts out that energy on those Vipers so quickly that they weren't able to be instant-killed by feedbacks. But now his comp is neutered because he doesn't have any more energy, and the Colossi are just going to counterattack here. He's like, yeah, I dare you to turn around and fight against this. 2 Colossi with +3 about to finish. And Storm's almost done.
Hiva trying to use ramps right now while he buys time, trying to get these Ultralisks out. A little bit of a counterattack, held off, though, by a very quick warp-in from Hurricane. But it does pull back his army, and that buys him some time.
Yeah, actually turning his whole army around here, with the exception of these Zealots, which do not have charge, making it a little bit more difficult to engage with them. Going to help the Roaches out a lot as well. He's adding another Stargate. I don't think he's actually scouted Ultralisk or the problem, or else he would have added a second Robo and be making Immortals right now. He doesn't have any Archons either, so...
Yeah. The Ultras actually could catch him really off guard here, especially since you consider how many sentries he still has left in his army. Like,
and the
does he still have 6 or 7 sentries, right?
Yeah.
At least 5, and then... Yeah, no, that's quite a few. He's got 6 left, so... 6, and then he has High Templars, which, I mean, Storm is okay, but it doesn't really hurt Ultras that much. And then Stalkers don't do that well, and of course Colossus don't do that well. This has actually become a very scary army out of Hiva.
He sees it now, too. Yeah. Now he's got to, like, sit back and hide behind a wall, which will be enough for now, but it's not going to save his 4th base.
Yeah, he does have a decent wall there, too, so he'll definitely be safe around the 2nd and 3rd. But as you said, that 4th base is going to be pretty easy for Hive to take out.
Yeah, he's just going to basically right-click on it with his Ultras here, and we'll have no problem. Stalker's coming from the other side, and actually he's a bit timid to engage here. I think it's possibly because of upgrades. Great blink there. Feedback's going down in a few Storms. He's got a few, you know, of these Blinding Clouds going down, making the Immortals and the Stalkers unable to fight.
Yeah, indeed, but that was a very good side storm. And oh man, really good targeting on these Ultras as well.
Damn, that micro, that unit control, the zoning there from Hurricane was incredible. I am like actually in shock that he was able to take a push that looked so terrifying and make it look like it was nothing.
Yeah, you know, that was really well done, but there are some upgrades missing right now, you know, just at 1-1 for these Ultras. I guess he's got the carapace though. This army is getting really good for Hurricane. He has more Immortals on the way. He's got a lot of Archons mixed in here. Hiva continues to make Ultras as much as he can and some Infestors, but they just aren't ready yet.
Yeah, they need more upgrades. The Colossi deal with the ground army, then the Stalkers are able to basically just target and kite back against the Ultralisk with the Immortal support. I mean, the Immortals are fighting against basically straight up Ultra Roach. No matter what they're shooting, it's going to be good. There's a few Hydras in there, but the Colossi makes that look pretty non-threatening. Just good kiting here again, always right-clicking back on those Ultras when he attacks. Good fungal here. It's actually going to lock down those Colossi so they can't get away. Well, this is just, I think, too much for us on the high ground here with the Concave.
That's right. It looks like it certainly is. And at this point, Stalkers even beat Ultralisks with fungal growth. There's just not very much here. Morling's on the way. Some more Infestors going to be popping out. But it looks like he's going to lose his third, which also has his macro hatch.
It's cutting off his reinforcements, especially because of that macro hatch that you just mentioned. Also, the 4th base up there to the top left is not going to be allowing to reinforce. The 5th base is just like, I don't even know what that is going on over there. It's just not actually happening. A beautiful fungal, but it doesn't matter if there's nothing to help it out.
Yeah, it's actually pretty hard to kill things just with straight fungal here. More and more Stalkers being warped in.
He has like more changelings than he has army supply on him right now. This is going to be the end of it. Even killing these units before they can spawn here at this base.
Yeah, we should be seeing a GG from Hyvaa just momentarily here. Yeah. Kind of sad to see him go out in such a way, but he just didn't play up to his opponents.
Yeah, I got to say, Hurricane played really well in this series, especially showing some great flexibility against the Zerg in this matchup. GG. It's actually tough to play against a Zerg like Hyvaa because he doesn't play like most Zergs do, and to be able to handle each situation piece by piece there, I'm really impressed with how he did that.
Yeah, he did quite a nice job there. I'm actually very impressed with Hurricane's game, whereas you know, I guess against Innovation, he did kind of get all in twice with a very powerful build both times without really scouting. But here, I felt like he scouted Hyvaa reasonably well. His reactions were really good. His strategies were really good. And definitely deserved this victory.
Yeah. I really got a feel for Hyvaa, though. Having some tough matches in Pro League as well. Just hasn't really been able to, honestly, realistically speaking, really accomplished anything this whole year.
Yeah.
And the years ticked by, and now he has to go to the next Code A Qualifiers. This is the last season for this year of GSL, and I mean, he's already out of Pro League. That's not until next year. So basically for him, we're not going to be seeing him for a while, and Hurricane's sitting there like, all right, I got to get into Code S because my team's also out of Pro League playoffs, and they're not going to be seeing me for a while either if I don't get through here. For all the teams that aren't in Pro League playoffs and not in Code S, the players that are there are basically just going to be on some sort of like training holiday. It's like the off season for them, and they're not going to be on TV. They're not making money, so.
It can be rough at that point, man. Well, we're going to come back with the last match of this morning, Group